Facing the death of a loved one is one of the hardest things we will ever do. Hello, I'm Scott Sackett, and I have a story that I'd like to share with you.
I think the thing that hospice did, it was kept my mind quiet and my family's mind quiet in the entire process. Because here had been my father, who had been the pillar of stability in the family, was always there for us, not that financially, emotionally, and so forth, and you just was accustomed to have him around. And now he was sick, and it was very hard for us. And when hospice came in and talked to my mother, and talked to my sister and I, and other family members, they helped us educationally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. And hospice made that final journey easy for all of us.
Niagara Hospice began offering end-of-life care in 1988, and since then we've assisted more than 6,000 terminally ill individuals in need of hospice services. Hospice is appropriate for anyone with an advanced stage illness, not just cancer. Niagara Hospice specializes in pain and symptom management, in alleviating suffering, and promoting a better quality of life. We treat the person, not the disease. And we involve the entire family in the hospice experience. As the only hospice provider in Niagara County, Niagara Hospice provides care primarily in patients' homes and occasionally in a nursing home or hospital.
While in-home hospice care will always be our first preference, many of our patients find that their homes are just not suitable for home hospice care, or they don't have family and friends that are capable of helping them 24 hours each day.
Sometimes patients just can't get quality care in their own home. They may live in senior housing or retirement communities. Their own home may be just too small to accommodate multiple family members to stay there all the time and provide the care, or they just may not have family close by to help.
This problem is growing as the youth of Niagara County move away in search of greater economic opportunities.
Hospice Buffalo has been a leader in the national hospice movement for over 25 years. On our campus in Cheektowaga, we provide residential and inpatient hospice services to Erie County residents. Niagara County residents should also have full access to an array of hospice care, including residential services.
3 facts remain. Niagara County has one of the oldest populations in New York State. There is currently no place for terminally ill patients without family support to receive the quality of hospice care that they need. And too often, local hospice patients die in the hospital instead of their homes. Recent changes to New York State law provide Niagara Hospice with the ability to build Niagara Hospice House, fulfilling a long-time need for a residential hospice facility in Niagara County. One wing of Niagara Hospice House will be home to the Hope Residence, 8 suites specifically designed for patients who are unable to stay in their own homes and who need residential hospice care. Hope Residence will offer home-like surroundings for longer-term stays. Without Hope Residence, a patient's only other option is to move into a nursing home. Most nursing homes are expensive and designed to expect years' worth of care. Experience shows that hospice patients want to avoid going into a nursing home. The second wing of Niagara Hospice House will hold Sunset Haven, 10 suites specifically designed for patients needing short-term medical monitoring and patients who have only a few days or a few hours to live.
Often in the last days and hours of life, patients can require so much more care than families are able to provide in the home setting. Patients don't want to be hospitalized, and families try very hard to respect those wishes. Sunset Haven would provide the necessary medical care that families and patients need, while at the same time doing that in a home-like setting. And this will go a long way to helping patients and their families be much more comfortable at this very difficult time.
Suites throughout Niagara Hospice House will be designed with the patients and their families in mind. Each suite will include a sitting area, a sofa sleeper, a shower, and a private patio. Niagara Hospice House will also have 2 family gathering rooms, fireplaces, and a chapel. The entire facility will be adjacent to the popular Niagara Hospice Memorial Butterfly Gardens. Common areas will encourage patients and families to visit, prepare meals, and hold family gatherings, reducing feelings of loneliness faced by many hospice patients. Niagara Hospice has already acquired land adjacent to its current headquarters for Niagara Hospice House.
This property was chosen for several reasons. Since we already own the land, it saves us about $100,000 in land acquisition costs. Secondly, the location is centrally located in our service area. And our management and clinical offices are already on site, so we avoid wasting money building office space.
Initially, we considered partnering with a local hospital to expand our hospice services. Unfortunately, New York State regulations prohibit the establishment of a hospice residence within a hospital. We also looked at local vacant nursing home space. However, our research showed that buying and renovating would cost more than building a brand new structure.
In the end, we couldn't figure out why anyone would want us to spend more money to convert a nursing home into a facility that would still look like, operate like a nursing home. Especially when we know that patient studies clearly show that this is not what patients and families need. What they need is a home-like environment, a home-like facility that's going to provide death with dignity.
We know there are 3 types of patients who will benefit most from Niagara Hospice House. First, current hospice patients who can't stay in their own home for a variety of reasons. Second, patients who need short-term residential care for pain or symptom control but don't need hospitalization. Finally, patients whose families find the last hours or days of life too difficult to handle. Patients who currently turn to emergency rooms or hospital stays.
Hospice projections indicate that if just 28% of the people who need these services utilize Niagara Hospice House, the facility would have an occupancy rate of 75%, a rate sufficient to support annual operations.
Hospice care is generally reimbursed through Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance, although no one is ever turned away for lack of ability to pay. This new facility can be self-sustaining, like hospice houses throughout America, provided long-term mortgage debt is avoided.
In order to avoid long-term debt that can put the facility at risk, Niagara Hospice has launched the Wings of Serenity fundraising campaign to raise $3 million to build Niagara Hospice House. It's the first multi-million-dollar campaign in our 16-year history. The campaign will seek 5-year gift intentions toward the $3 million cost of building Niagara Hospice House. If you have ever seen hospice at work, you know how important hospice care is. A new chapter for Niagara Hospice begins. The need is too great to delay such an important project. After years of planning and a successful change in New York State law, now is the time to raise the funds to build Niagara Hospice House.